Chair, as you felt that.
You're in line, Mr. Chair.
Good. Thank you very much, Mr. Kelly. Welcome everyone to our Public Works and Beautification meeting for March the 30th. We'll call our meeting to order. Is there any declarations of conflict of interest in today's meeting?
Seeing none.
I see none. Thank you very much. I'll need approval for the agenda.
I'll move it.
Moved by Councillor Ramsey, seconded by Councillor Yankoff. All those in favor?
Sure.
Good, thank you. Adoption of the minutes for February 23rd, 2022. Moved by Mayor Brown, seconded by Councillor Ramsey. All those in favor of the minutes, please say aye. Do it. Thank you. Business arising from those previous minutes. Anything we got? I think pretty straight.
Your worship. Nothing?
Don't encourage him.
I believe in one.
I have to go myself. Okay, so let's get into reports. So, Scott, you can take it away with our capital project monthly update.
Certainly, thank you, Chair. So you see the spreadsheet in front of you. So we're getting a number of projects out the door, which has been great. All our bigger projects, such as Beach Grove culvert, the roundabout, and sidewalks, they either have been posted to date or are with finance right now. So the roundabout is upstairs and being final review for finance before tendering, so that will be going out very shortly. Beach Grove Road box culvert replacement, that is currently posted. We have a number of sidewalks that were designed last year. That tender is ready and is with finance final review as well.
Good.
And so we have gotten the bulk of the big projects out of the way to date, and now it's starting on the smaller contracts as we go through.
Yeah.
We'll be updating this spreadsheet in more detail as we get going with a lot of these contracts, especially the amounts, the expense amounts and all that good stuff to date. We just haven't really had time to start filling out those columns just yet, as with an absence, our project engineer is busy with other duties at the moment. So.
Okay, good. Thank you very much.
Question,
Chair, Mr. Ramsey.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Scott. It's very well detailed. Sidewalk, new, and are they tendered out, or is our own staff do that, or is it 50-50, or?
So, construction, anything that's new on this list is all contractor. Will be all contracted, just due to the volume of work. Our crews, because there's so many, we just have a large volume of sidewalks existing in the city. Their main priority is fixing, trippers, broken section of sidewalks, or small jobs. And so they don't get a lot of time to do those long stretches. So we usually try to get that contracted out at the beginning of the year.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Good question. Thank you. Any other questions for Mr. Adams on it at the time being?
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Mr. Adams. Under municipal buildings,
Yes.
Hillsborough Park Community Center, is that upgrade to just the elevator or the lift, or is that other upgrades?
Primary project in that is the elevator.
Okay.
And so we just found a architect that can do the work for us. So they're working on that right now to get the design of it, because we gotta make it, because it's an existing building, makes it a little more complicated, trying to make sure we can get structural needs changed to the building to allow it. So anyway, that's what's working on right now. So right now those funds are all for that work. There are some other minor maintenance changes to the building that I think there's a door we want to replace. If there's funds left over, we will try to accommodate that. But for now, the priority is the elevator.
And Mr. Chair,
Yes.
on the Hillsborough Park Community Center, we're trying to convert our municipal buildings over to more non-combustible or non-reusable energy.
Mm-hmm.
With the roof structure, because it's a north-south roof structure, would it have the capacity to hold a solar panel system on that?
Great question.
I asked because it's an old building.
It is, and I don't know the answer to that one. I'd have to go back to our notes, because I know we did, when we were doing the initial Honeywell proposal, when that audit was done, the phase one of that project,
Right.
to identify all the energy saving measures.
Yeah.
I know we did look at some buildings on if that was possible, like West Royalty Community Center, that's perfect, and
Yes,
I
it
believe
is.
there's a system going for that.
There will be solar panels going up.
Exactly. I think they reviewed every building, but I will double check to see if they did check and what was the result of that review.
And Mr. Chair, the only reason I bring that up, it was discussed yesterday at the
Yes.
Environment and Sustainability Standing Committee.
All right.
And just on the last question on the municipal buildings, just on the facade work for the Fitzroy Parkade.
Good question.
Yep.
Haven't heard that one before.
So
Scott's been working on it.
when I say we, CADC and myself have met with the engineering firm that has done the initial review and proposal for that design, which is Coles and Associates. So we met with them, and they are looking at getting the tender documents ready to get that work out the door very shortly.
As always, Mr. Adams, thank you very much.
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you very much.
It's nice to get that done.
Mr. Higgins, thank you, Mr. Higgins.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other questions on that? If not, we'll move on. Tenders. So we have a couple there, Scott. You can just take it away.
Thank you. So the first one is
The phone's ringing today.
Yeah, we're-
There must be some news going on.
Please.
The first one was a request for quotation for engineering services for 5 locations for sidewalks and multi-use pathways. These are locations that were part of the capital budget that we had yet to design for this year. So we're hoping to get that approved and awarded. We had 4 submissions, and the low bid WSP is being recommended for this work. The second resolution is for 2 new municipal sidewalk tractors and attachments. This was a request for quotation, but there is a scoring system involved in this one because of specifications. We need machinery that is compatible with our existing machinery. That helps for a number of reasons, from exchanging attachments if one's broken or things like that. As well as ease for our mechanics to work on them. So we have scored it, and we had, as I said, we had 2 submissions. One was Holder Equipment, and they have a brand machine that we have never used before, and we did score it, and they scored quite well. But at the end of the day, the submission from Saunders Equipment, which is the similar model, make and model of our current fleet of sidewalk machines, was the winner overall in terms of points for this tender. So we recommend to award to Saunders Equipment for this work.
Sure.
Mr. Ramsey.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Scott. So what does this give us for total sidewalk machines, Scott?
So right now, we have 13 primary machinery with a couple of spares. The spares are, I think the youngest would be, don't quote me on this one, but like maybe 8 years old, but I could be wrong. Our spares aren't overly reliable. So that's been some of the challenges. We have a small breakdown, which we expect in our main fleet. It happens, snow blowers, the shear pins break out or whatever, and they're down for a few hours until the mechanic can fix it. We've had guys hop into our spare machinery, and within 20 minutes, in some cases, half hour, that machine has broken down. It's just the reliability of our spare machinery is not where it's at, or where it should be at. And so what this will do is keeps our main primary fleet refreshed and newer, and it keeps our spare units younger than what their current spare units
So
are.
we're 13 operating now with 2 spare.
Yes.
And with this.
I'm not sure exactly how many spares we're running. There'd be 2, maybe 4. I'd have to double check. It just depends on how many is operating at the time, or up and running.
So with this resolution, you want to add 2 more,
Correct, yeah.
which would be 15 plus 2 or 3, whoever you
We
got
would
spare.
still keep our 13 routes, so we have 13
So that's gonna
routes.
be enough machinery, I guess is
Yep.
more of my
This
question.
is just to keep our 13 machines refreshed.
Okay,
Because we don't wanna get down the line and say we need to replace all 13 in 1 year. We wanna keep a couple, replacing, 1 to 2 per year, so that we keep cycling those machinery, keep that age in check, so that we have some reliable machinery in our fleet.
and that's enough to do the city.
Yes, we feel we have the equipment to do to do the city, that's right.
Excellent,
So,
thank you.
Chair,
Yes.
Scott, these were around, price range around 150 last time, they're up substantially this time, why, is it just cost factors, or are we having more attachments?
It is really just the inflation at the end of the day. We've always included attachments in our fleet, and this is just the current pricing for this machinery. There's no real other explanation, because we're just looking for our plows and our snow blower and our drop sanders salter unit that attaches to the back, which has always been standard part of our quotes or requests for quotes in the past.
Thank you.
So that's up $50,000 machine approximately, should be coming, something
I'm
like
not sure the exact number, but it's
Well,
higher than the last time we ordered.
But I'm wondering, I think I'm thinking hard there, but I think that when we bought those other ones, I don't think attachments were with it.
The
I
last round, the last few rounds that I've been here, they were always.
Were they,
We
like the
always ask
sanding
them-
unit and all that came with it?
Yeah, we always ask them to come with it, so make sure it's compatible with machinery.
Okay.
We don't wanna get in, because these types of machinery, they have different specific
Yeah.
type of hookups
Yeah,
on them.
but
And we don't wanna have to get into
Okay.
the issue where someone does come and say, oh yeah, it's compatible with that machine.
Yeah, I know.
Well, there's a lot of hiccups to
That's
make
a
it
big
work.
word, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. Councilor Yankoff, do you have a question?
So these 2 tractors that are added to the fleet, I guess they don't count as part of this fleet management thing either, do they?
No, so the enterprise thing is only passenger vehicles up to including 1-ton vehicles, I believe. That's all that they do. This is a specialized piece of machinery.
Yeah.
It's not something that, the average user
No.
uses. It's, a sidewalk machinery, you only see municipalities really have them anywhere in North America anyway. The odd contractor has one, like an Island Coastal has a few, but it's because they have contracts with, the malls
Yeah,
and things like that. They have
sidewalks, yeah.
sidewalks that they have to maintain as well.
Yeah. Okay, unfortunately, the price is up, but we do need them. I know from time to time over the winter, like one storm, we had 11 going, then we had 10 going, because of the breakages, right? And I think when you say those spares, I believe those spares are just for parts, I think, right? I don't know
We do have a
how,
couple spares that are
yeah,
operational, the
But-
rest are for parts, that's
Yeah.
correct, yeah.
yeah, okay.
But I can't remember the exact number
Yeah.
of how many we keep in spares, but we like to have 2 or 3
Yeah.
operating spares.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, as you say, yes, we could have sometimes 3 or 4 down at the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
And again, it's just minor repairs,
Yeah, but
when
it's-
you have 3 or 4 down for a few hours, you really notice it around the city.
Yeah.
And we're trying to minimize that
Yeah.
impact.
Thank you very much. Councilor Yankoff?
And this obviously was part of this year's capital budget. Did we go over? Or did we budget for these?
I would have to double check the plan, but I believe when our team looked at it, I believe they said everything was within our budget. And I'll double check, but.
Because if it isn't, we have to ask for more money to finance that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Or no, we
they
would.
have an overall fleet amount, so,
Yeah.
and they would just have less purchasing power for any other,
Yeah.
they could not exceed that.
We wouldn't be asking for additional funds.
So they would take from A to put B, if
Yeah.
there wasn't enough.
But-
You
and-
can't go with that threshold.
Yeah.
And the resolution does say that, right? That it's coming out of the 22,
Yeah.
23 budget. so-
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so there could be something else we might have to hurt a bit, but. Okay, any other questions, concerns for Mr. Adams?
Mr. Chair, could I
yes.
just ask our esteemed chief engineer, Scott, Holder Equipment, Saunders Equipment, are they supplying the same machine?
No.
Okay, so Holder's supplying what?
It's a Holden C70.
Okay. And
It's
Saunders is supplying
trackless. Trackless.
And that's what the fleet is.
Our
mainly.
primary fleet is trackless. We do have a couple other pieces of machinery, but trackless is the workhorse
Yeah,
for it.
the reason I bring it up, I
Mm.
know Councillor Duffy always looks at the numbers, and there's a $40,000
Difference, yeah.
difference
Yeah.
here, which is a 10% increase.
Mhm.
But the trackless is the better,
We've always had good luck with trackless for sure.
but is it, in terms of like, if I buy a Ford 150 to a Dodge Ram,
Mhm.
I'll say a Ford 150 is better. Is the trackless a better, I know it's a better fit,
It's our preferred, for sure, and when you look across North America, it seems to be the most used, preferred amongst municipalities, so from what we've seen. We've had great success with them, and they're built for our climate, so we've been very satisfied with the.
And Mr. Chair, the only reason to bring this up, because these equipment companies like Cropac, or they supply national booms, so they all have their own
Mhm,
brand.
exactly, yeah.
So if we're just using tractors, why are we going to bid? Like,
So-
why are we going to tender?
It's,
Because
Yeah.
if every time it comes back with a lower price from Holder,
Mhm.
and they don't have trackless,
Mhm.
we're going with trackless. Doesn't matter, and
Yeah.
it's just an honest question
no,
about.
absolutely, it's one of those, we've had this question before. I think in the past, there have been the odd time where we've gone sole source. But at times, we have tried a different brand in the past. We have tried a McLean's in one previous iteration of this, because they had an excellent price. And the machinery, like I say, like when you look at the scores were comparable. We tried the McLean's because the price was much, much lower than the trackless at that time. But we haven't had the greatest success with we've had some issues with breakdowns and things like that. And we found, like I say, our trackless brand, in our experience, seems to work better for our needs, so.
And Mr. Chair, last question. Saunders will be the dealership for trackless.
Right.
Holder couldn't get it because Holder is using another.
They're
type
the
of
sole,
machine.
they're the sole supplier
So
for land can.
this is an open meeting, and so anyone that wants to bid in the future will have to, we have to look at the trackless to put in the tender. I think that's what we're saying.
At the end of the day, like I say, for this round, we thought the trackless was the better deal overall. That's not to say in the future, we do see a new piece of equipment that seems, other municipalities are using it and seem very reliable. We're not closing that door on other brands of machinery at the moment, no. But-
Okay.
Mr. Chair, one more thing, are both these companies off Island, right? Because that's the only place you can purchase it.
That's correct, yep.
Yeah, I just thought I'd throw it
Okay,
there. So we get-
Councillor Yankoff, you have a
And
question?
Saunders is in New Brunswick, right?
Both of them are in New Brunswick.
Okay, I couldn't find Holder anywhere, so I just thought they were just kind of.
Yeah.
It's just, Council, they just have different brands.
Mhm.
Like Cropac sells National Boom,
Yeah.
and then there's another company that sells
Good.
another type of boom truck. It's just Holden doesn't have the trackless brand, correct?
Correct, yeah, they have their own brand. yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, good, thank you very much. Any other questions, concerns?
No.
Not? Okay. Introduction of new business. I guess we didn't have any at the start of our approval of the agenda, so I'll need a motion to move into the closed session as per 119 subsection E of the PPI Municipal Government Act.
So we didn't vote on these resolutions, we're just moving them on to council?
No, they move up to finance.
They go to finance
We
first.
didn't have to.
But do we
Yeah,
not
I'll-
have to?
Okay, we better do that now then. Okay,
Finance.
we'll do it before we go into close. Yeah, good point. Yeah, I was thinking they just had to go down, but yeah, they should be rolled on. Okay, so I'll need a mover and a second.
I'll move it forward to finance.
To forward to finance. Moved by Councillor Ramsey, seconded by Councillor Duffy. All those in favor of the two, please put up your hand, and I see it's unanimous. Thank you very much, and for reminding me of that. And a motion now to go into close. Moved by Councillor Duffy, seconded by Councillor Ramsey. All those in favor? Great. Give Mr. Kelly a minute here or so.